when I say I don't want to fight Mexican, it's because I represent Mexico.
I feel like Canelo's a fucking pussy.
Canelo doesn't jab anymore. He looks for one shot now. You know, I mean, the end is there for Canelo.
David Benavidez, the undefeated Mexican monster, is leaving no doubt about his intentions.
Maybe the most feared fighter in boxing. Ever see Julio Cesar Chavez in his prime? I'm talking about the daddy. I'm talking about one of the greatest fighters ever. This guy is the closest thing I have seen to a big Julio Cesar Chavez. David, I'm not putting the Chavez thing on you. I'm just saying, you're the closest thing I've seen to a big dude who fights like that. Oh, Canelo's ducking him. This dude's a monster. And I looked and I thought, am I right or wrong about that?
No, you're definitely right. You know, you're looking at a man that's not going to let anything outside the ring, you know, mess with his game. But like I said, at the end of the day, I'm not scared of nothing. You know, I accept and I invite war. You know, so if that's what the people of Riyadh, Saudi Arabia want to see, well, let's give it to them. I think everybody is starting to see that I'm fearless, I'm relentless, and I'll fight anybody to get my respect in the ring.
David Benavidez, the undefeated Mexican monster, is making his intentions crystal clear. He's not leaving any room for doubt about what he wants next.
Spinning back on Canelo, and he was talking about how he didn't want to give David Benavidez the fight because he was being disrespectful.
When you look at the history of Canelo, all the fighters that was disrespectful, calling them out, and he fought all of them. But I just think from a Mexican standpoint, one being extra disrespectful towards the other, he took the sport out of it, and he just felt as if he wasn't going to give Benavidez the payday that he wanted.
After witnessing Canelo Alvarez fall to Terence Crawford, Benavidez has been blunt and outspoken. He's not just calling for a fight, he's outright accusing Canelo of being afraid. For years, one name has lingered like a ghost over Canelo's career, a challenge he's consistently avoided.
I predicted Crawford by unanimous decision. He got that. You know, I just thought Crawford was too fast for Canelo. Too many combinations. Canelo doesn't jab anymore. He looked for one shot now. You know, I mean, the end is there for Canelo.
Now, Benavidez is determined to settle the score and claim his rightful throne. And with Canelo's shocking defeat to Crawford, that shadow has become impossible to ignore. Just weeks ago, the boxing world was shaken as Crawford, the undisputed welterweight king, jumped 2 weight classes and exposed Canelo's vulnerabilities. It wasn't just a loss, it was a dominant dismantling that stripped away much of the aura surrounding the Mexican superstar. Even respected trainers like Ronnie Shields suggested that Canelo may already be past his peak.
First of all, I just want to give Terence Crawford a great congratulations. You know, he's reached a part in history that only so many fighters get to even accomplish in boxing. You know, he's one of the greatest of all time. There's nothing, you can't take that away from him. Terence Crawford should be on the Mount Rushmore in boxing because not only did he go up 3 weight classes, he beat one of the best fighters of his generation. I don't remember any time in history where anybody has come up from 147 pounds and won the super middleweight championship. Not only just won, but the undisputed. He's won every single title. So, you know, man, that man, not only is he a great fighter, but you could tell in that fight by seeing this combination right now how much of a dog he is. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of fighters could take a lot of notes from Terence Crawford, not only physically, but as take notes in the heart aspect. And I give it all up to Terence Crawford. You know, he's one of the greatest of all time. And, you know, we salute Terence Crawford.
Oscar De La Hoya echoed that sentiment, breaking down exactly where Canelo went wrong. This wasn't just another fight. It was a turning point, a moment that reopened the door to a clash that's been brewing for years. In an exclusive...
I got 3 WBC belts right here. I'm the best in the division. If they want to give me an opportunity now or later, I'm gonna keep winning. You know, like I said, I'm gonna be the greatest of my generation by the time I'm done. And my job is not complete until I make that happen. For Canelo and everybody else, it just shows everybody I'm not f***ing around. I'm here to stay. I just look at the facts. You know, the people want to see this fight more than Carlos Adames and Charlo. You know, that's why that fight hasn't happened. But for me and Canelo, we got motion. You know what I mean? I've been winning the fights I'm supposed to win in fantastic fashion. He has nobody else to fight. You know what I mean? So if they want to give it to me now, later, whenever, I'm not going nowhere.
Inside the ring, Benavidez praised Crawford's achievement, congratulating him for accomplishing something only a few fighters in history ever have. He even said Crawford deserves a spot on boxing's Mount Rushmore for moving up 3 weight classes and becoming undisputed at super middleweight. Benavidez added, "Not only is he a great fighter, but you could see in that fight how much of a dog he really is." He suggested that many fighters could learn from Crawford's heart.
I don't really like to bash somebody because at the end of the day, I give respect to Canelo. He's a great fighter.
Yeah.
He's one of the best Mexican fighters of all time.
But wanting to fight him, David, is not bashing him.
Yeah.
That's not bashing him.
But that's what I'm saying. They spin the narrative on Instagram.
Right.
If I say something, they say this or that. But I only want what I earned.
Right.
And I'm entitled to it. From what the WBC told me, they say you win a title limiter, we'll give you a title shot. You win the WBC interim title, we'll give you a title shot. I've been in this position for 3 years. So just because Canelo, he could do what he wants, as he says.
Right.
He's not going to fight the top competition. And he's holding all those belts hostage, bro. And it's not like, you got other great fighters too. You got me and David Morrell's there.
Yeah.
How is it fair that these sanctioning bodies let him pick and choose who he wants to fight? And then the Canelo fans too that be talking shit, bro. Like, do you guys not want to see the best fights?
Right.
Like, I don't understand. I'm just trying to make the best fights happen. And that's it. At the end of the day, I just want to give the fans what they want to see.
Yeah.
But long before Crawford delivered his stunning upset, Benavidez had been chasing Canelo relentlessly, a constant shadow in the super middleweight division.
I'm not scared of nobody. I've heard everybody that's been in front of me, and Canelo's no different. And I will hurt him too, and I'll take all his belts. It's crazy that he asked for 150 million or 200 million to fight me, but he still has the nerve to say that I don't bring nothing to the table. So if I didn't bring nothing to the table, why are you asking for more money than you won in your whole career if I don't mean anything? Maybe after he gets that money, he can buy himself a pair of balls. What I wanted to tell you guys too, I mean, this guy, he's making the most money out of everybody. He's charging you guys so much for the pay-per-views. It's like he's spitting in your guys' face, saying that he doesn't give a what you guys want. He's not going to give you the best fights. He's going to fight the fights that he wants. In my opinion, that's a little bit disrespectful to the fans, but he has cult-like fans that, you know, they don't tell him shit and they're happy with whatever he does. But at the end of the day, if you hold all the titles, you got to fight the best in the division. I'm #1 in the division, #1 contender. The second one is David Morrell. He's not fighting me, nor he's not fighting David Morrell. So it makes no sense. How is he going to call himself the champion and have all these belts if he doesn't fight the #1 or the #2 guys? Guys asking $200 million. Why, when they bring my name up with him, that's the most money he's going to make. When he fought Amir Khan, he outweighed him by like 25 pounds. But, you know, I think it's just he's running out of excuses and running out of things to say, but that's just how it is. I guess that's when you're the cash cow, you can do whatever you want.
For years, Benavidez, a 2-time WBC champion with a perfect record of 30 wins, 0 losses, and 25 knockouts, held the interim title, standing as a direct threat to Canelo's undisputed reign. He's not leaving any room for doubt, and this wasn't just talk. Reports revealed a jaw-dropping $70 million offer made to Canelo for the fight. Benavidez himself confirmed it, even saying he had accepted a flat fee of $5 million just to make it happen.
You've been in a ring with both guys, Canelo and Benavidez. If they fought, which I don't think they're gonna fight no time soon, who you think will win?
Man, that's hard to say. I think have pros and cons. You know, I feel like the things that Canelo does better than David. There's things that David does better than Canelo. And I'm not comparing it to this fight, but it's like the better be of Bivol fight. You can say who you think's gonna win. You can't say like, oh man, I'm surprised the Bivol won, or I'm surprised the better be of won. You're like, man, that's a damn good fight. So-and-so won. So kind of how I feel about the David and Canelo fight, like who had the best camp, who has the best game plan, who slept the best the night before.
And it's not much that separates guys at that level.
If they get on him with his combinations and not give him room to breathe, then, you know, that's probably a night that David gets his hand raised. You know, if Canelo is able to slow the pace down a little bit and catch him with a big shot and drop before from an off-balance shot, he wasn't really hurt, but, you know, would you be surprised if Canelo stopped him? You know, no. So it's hard to say, but I get asked that a lot.